still, so they could pick up any 4 that can also layer damage over the mark.
So you have multiple ways of I played this matchup many times on both sides. There's multiple ways to get away from the ink spell, which is something that's kind of alright. You can get away from that, but you are susceptible to them just hitting you.
Yes.
However, if they pick a very strong position 5, I don't know if Oracle was banned out. In that last game, it didn't work. Maybe it can work in this one, because Oracle plus Riki is a very difficult lane to deal with. There's a lot of nuking potential, and you can always, I hope, save that purge to deal with things.
My fear is simply you have the same support duo that showcased how weak it is in that it's strong if the game develops.
I really don't think it was about the support duo in that last game, because very similar support duo was ran by FlyToMoon. When you think about what these heroes do, it's
I guess it's the
very
silencer
similar.
factor. I think for me it's the fact that Silencer the Global, it just demolished the backline support. So
and
now,
the Bristleback carry is very different than the Riki. Riki can be very offensive super early on. You have that burst potential.
Potentially.
I'm
not agreeing with you,
them,
but potentially.
It's one of those wait-and-see moments here, but it is a bit shocking that NaVi didn't want to ban out either of those 2 from FlyToMoon.
Yeah.
It's one of those moments where like you lose a game and you get a little bit worked in the draft. Like it was a rough one, and also then you get into the game and you get worked in the first 10 minutes. Like you've never really got to the point where you're losing the game because of a game deciding call. You've literally just not played the lanes that well. So I think they're not too upset with that loss. They're like, okay, cool, we got worked, that's fine. Rinse, repeat, let's go back again. It's nothing to instantly. If you change your playbook after one loss, then
but they did.
You don't succeed.
That's the problem. They did. This Riki looks like a massive change.
I guess
it looks like a massive change, considering what everyone is playing right now. Pretty much every single team went away from this Riki pick. It was popular a few weeks ago.
What did they pick though? Sorry, after the Shadow Demon last game, what did they pick in that second slot? Do you remember?
Was it Bristol instantly?
Yeah, so I feel like even though they've changed the hero, the concept of draft is still the same, you know?
Is it though?
It is, because look at this right now.
You mean support plus carry?
Yeah, support plus carry, support. Like the philosophy of the draft has stayed the same.
This philosophy can remain the same. I completely agree with that. But what do you think about the way you have to play around Bristol and the way you have to play around Riki? It's 2 fundamentally different heroes. Your strategy completely changes. This Riki that they usually pick will not be picked now. Instead, they go for the Wraith King, which they have played before.
And they did play it pretty well. The game was very close. Unfortunately, it got to the point where they didn't really have enough to convert it into the win, but it was still a very strong game.
Right? It was the Spectre game as well.
Yeah. It was, I think the game-defining moments was Wraith King eventually got an Ags. I don't know if it was. I think it was from like the 4th or 5th Roshan in that game, and it was just dominating the fights, but not enough to really convert into that win.
Back then, they didn't truly have the win condition. Right now, I expected them to deal with the Riki the way every single team dealt with him a few weeks ago when the hero was popular. You get these illusion heroes with high armor. You get your Naga or you get your Terrorblade, and Riki just, even if he gets farm, he doesn't do anything.
But the way FlyToMoon right now are dealing with it is the fact that they have such a... they just demonstrated how when they take a laning phase lead, they will sweep across the map. They'll go from the classic style of Dota, which we're seeing right now is that aggression. And when you have Chen, you got Wraith King, these heroes. Wraith King, if he itemizes early enough, he can pair well in that early push. You have the Chen, naturally will be a large presence, always TPing around. I'd like to see them pick up a more mobile backline catching hero to like really utilize his Chen. For example, I'm always a big fan of like Storm Chen, for example. You know, he can always be back in base, farm up, TP's back, you suddenly recall him back in, suddenly the fight's in your favor. So I think if FlyToMoon pick any greedier mid hero, even like a Leshrac, for example, would be, I think, devastating in this game. It'd be way too high pace for the Riki to really come online. He's naturally very squishy, and by the time he wants to get a defensive item, like normally his itemization is man to defusal. He doesn't really want to buy BKB, so I think Leshrac could be so strong for FlyToMoon now.
So already, right, we're getting towards the last pick. It's seeming like FlyToMoon are in a good spot once again.
It certainly does, even after this Centaur pick right here. When Mars was firstly introduced in this game, he was always picked versus the Centaur. And that's because your Stampede is nice, but once you pop that arena, you can't really get away from it. You kind of do the similar things on the offlane, but Mars, I think, has more potential overall at the moment. It is a good lane, though. Centaur plus Shadow Demon, I think they can do quite well versus the Wraith King plus Chen lane. So that lane should go well for them. At least they're setting themselves up to win at least one.
One
so
out of
far.
3 rather than losing all.
I'll say it did look pretty good for Alk on Na'Vi. Like, I raised my finger, but I didn't want to make the point, so... I have confirmation
I have
of
the idea, but it's not going to be said.
No, yeah, so I think right now it's like the fact that you need to get this big magical hero. You need, not literally magical, but the player magical.
Yeah.
You need his hero to come online.
You need the playmaker, right? That's
I think
it.
You could either go for, I guess playmaker, but I also see like when you see Ricky Centaur side lane, I see the idea of your win condition down being mid. These are 2 heroes that can scrap, can be active. So I think TA could be very strong. I think Out could have been really good. And then
Banned out.
Yeah,
both of them.
They ban out Quap. Oh, they just go for Shadow Fiend. Sick. All right, this is nice. Yeah,
that's something that can be your playmaker. It can also transition into a hero that has late game potential. Gives you some magical damage. Helps
they can
you
actually
out
group though.
Yeah,
they can actually take a fight.
Covering their bases.
Kinda.
I guess it won't be the silencer mid again, will it? I think not.
It's that anticipation.
Nah, I'm just trying to think against Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend just raises up the wave. It's not as like prominent. I think you never really get the glaives off against him, so I don't think it's going to be too dominating like we saw against the Quap. I still kind of like a Leshrac because it just gives you such a fast-paced game that Na'Vi never really have enough strength to group up. Centaur, he needs to then go auras. He can't go for that instant blink, and suddenly your Ricky never really has presence with any of these team fights. If he jumps anyone, you have the arena, you've got Wraith King multiple lives. It's so hard to get to the backline because if FlyToMoon group up enough, then Na'Vi again they lack that jump, right? Ricky blinks in or blink strikes in. Centaur might, but that's about it.
Right, this is something that they have played before. Something that still does not have a new set, the Ankula cost. Pretty good. Very strong playmaker for the side of FlyToMoon. And they pretty much resort to the same play style that they always do. Your position 2 is the playmaker, your carry is V-Tune, and he's going to be your true win condition. The last time they played Tiny, it didn't look too great. In this kind of a game, you do have 2 supports that you can pretty much blow up.
And the Ricky.
And the Ricky.
And also, Tiny naturally, like after his combo, he wants to farm up. Like he doesn't really want to make his way to the fight, right? So I think this Chen Tiny, it's kind of it's a softer version of what the other int hero mids would do, but this is going to be really strong. You're going to be able to, Tiny can just AFK farm up, doesn't have to feel pressured to make moves. Chen will set the pace of the game, and then if you get to like a tower, you're pushing it down already with your Wraith King, you then bring in the Tiny, maybe he goes for the early Blink Dagger. I don't see Na'Vi re-defending towers that well.
I have to say FlyToMoon definitely demonstrated power in that first game. They demonstrated that they might be the stronger team out of the 2, mechanically at least. But this draft, I don't like as much as that first one. I think right now Na'Vi has better chances of taking the game. They're Tiny in the past as well. Didn't do all too well, at least not in the last couple of tournaments that they have ran it.
So what do we need to see from Na'Vi then in order to make that happen? Because you're coming off the back of a really rough game. You've given some key heroes again to FlyToMoon.
I think if the Centaur and the Ricky, I think you ignore the mid lane for now. Shadow Fiend should be fine in that matchup, but I think if the Ricky can get an early Diffusal Blade maybe, or even if he actually has Diffusal Blade, then maybe Battle Fear after that. If Centaur can get an early either Crimson Guard or even a pipe to deal with the burst damage of Tiny, and then blink when you get to that stage, the fights are going to be very even. Who has the better vision, who has the better like map presence. But I think it's FlyToMoon, it's a little bit too easy to deal with the likes of this Ricky in laning phase. Mars Grimstroke should be too strong, and I think this Tiny was killing him at all points of the game, and I'm now a rock.
Well, our commentators are ready now, so I want to get quickly from you guys. Which way are you going for this game?
FlyToMoon.
FlyToMoon?
I'll go with Na'Vi.
Oh, okay. So you're swapping sides for this game. We'll see how it goes. Lacoste, Lyrical, what do you make of all this? You got a nice fast game. Are you expecting another one?
Yeah, they gave him Mars again. What the hell are these guys thinking? They're out of the damn minds. Jesus. We can hear you guys better, by the way, now. So shout out to WePlay production team. They're taking care of business. They're killing it. Yeah, you know, real quickly, just again, to revert back to that point I was making before, I made that tweet in a lane matchup of Mars Grimstroke versus Ricky Disruptor. That was the match where Mars went 11-0 and 12. 11-0 and 12. I feel like this is gonna be another stomp.
All right, pack it up, boys. You heard it here. There's nothing they can do. Pasha on the top lane, however, getting some retaliate stock charges for so far. When I see a Shadow Fiend lineup, I love to have a lot of, stuns, disables, a lot of abilities that can set things up for the raises. And now you have like Stampede, you have a Stomp from a Centaur, Glimpse, Shadow Demon Disruption. So there's a lot of those.
Yeah, it's a nice way to make that work at least and play around the Shadow Fiend. It feels like magical on a hero that's gonna have a much better time, hopefully, than the Quap is. I mean, it'd be hard not to, because he's a really talented player. But that's just it looks like a really rough matchup to play against, particularly if you haven't done it a couple times.
And if we check VTune's item build, he forgot Raid King is not an agility hero, but he already bought slippers.
What do you think of that?
He's going for Raid Band. I see some pro players tend to shift power treads into Agi for more efficient farming. The attack speed you get is better than the damage you get on the strength heroes. Could be the reason why he's going for it. First time I see it though.
Yeah, just more chances there to crit out once he eventually retreats back to the jungle. So we'll watch out for that one for sure. Looks like Iceberg wasn't able to get any denies there with this big old tree. But yeah, Wraith King versus the Centaur down in the top lane. This feels like it's going to be a pretty not very interesting matchup. I guess, is bottom the main place that we got to look for kills?
You said it. Mars was 11-0. Let's just watch the bottom lane. But I also want to watch the mid lane. Iceberg is known to be playing different mid heroes. And it's a melee against Shadowfin. So Shadowfin should be able to have more CS. And he brought a lot of mangoes already. Iceberg grabbing a tree. I'd say it was much easier for Tiny to play a couple of patches ago. Yeah, this is not gonna happen.
I'm so bad. Oh god. I'm sorry, General. This is my bad. I've been hyping him up and then he gets killed first blood. Oh no. Lacoste, what have I done?
Cursed him. That's the classic.
Yeah.
But I'd say NaVi has a much better draft than in game number 1.
Okay. What in particular are you really liking? Just that there's not a free select game? Is that pretty much it? Or what do you think?
They have ways of dealing with enemy team fight. They have a lot of saves. They have a good catch. Ricky is just such a strong laner. And once he gets to the Fusil Blade, you need to be very careful. Both of these heroes don't have any kind of escape mechanism. Yeah, you can put the Ink Swell, but once Ricky jumps you first from the Invis diff, you should die.
Okay. The pull gets off here. Aloha Dance. Going to be able to get it. They do have just Kinetic Field leveled up for Disruptor. So if they do overextend again, there is that chance that Crystallize could find a way to punish. Has that Orb of Venom early on. So too does Mars. But the pull gets off. And towards mid lane, we can kind of take a second look at this now. It does feel like Magical is just going to be trying to spam out these raises, since Iceberg should be able to outlast hit him if it's just a straight up right-clicking battle.
I mean, Tiny, once he grabs a tree, he's not a melee hero. He gets extra 200 range.
Yeah.
So he's going to get 350, so basically he's Morphling.
There you go. Well, the lane gets pulled back again, and up top, I mean, always want to fly should be fine here. I was expecting to see a headdress actually for the Chen, but just opting to go for that Blightstone to try and pressure Pasha back, I guess, is the main idea.
Chandras got nerfed over the last couple of patches on top of Divine Favor, so it's not that effective, but I would still prefer to go for it. This is definitely not a killer lane. Raid King gets 1 point and stun, that's it. You don't have a follow-up unless you take higher level creep.
Mm-hmm.
You should be just playing passive in this lane, get a farm on Raid King instead of trying to play aggressive. Okay. Mid lane so far so good for Tiny. Boots of Speed, Bracer, going for Rune, it's not gonna grab it. A bit too late.
A little unfortunate there. I would have loved to be able to at least get the deny on it, but does not happen. And Shadow Fiend can maybe use that to stack up his jungle a little bit if he wants. Always want to fly. Ooh, that was a lot of damage, but not quite enough to bring down the Chen. will be able to take over that Alpha Wolf, and he's going to spend a little bit of time taking care of himself now, maybe, as they do bring down the courier. V2's courier going down. All right. So it looks like this lane stage is not nearly as tragic as it was last time around for NaVi. Like you're saying, it feels like just out of the bat, they're having a better time of it.
It couldn't get worse than the last game, I would say. They just completely lost all 3 lanes. Iceberg bringing a bottle on a mid lane, so he should be able to refill this right bounty rune, or Aloha Dance is just gonna pick it up.
Iceberg bottling up while keeping Magical a little bit back. Avalanche, but there's the illusion rune. It comes out. Continued trade up of the raises. It's a toss, but no real follow up after the fact. And one last raise. My God, that was close. Iceberg almost going down. But now the Phantoms embrace the Inkswell afterwards. Disruptor moves in, and he is gonna go down dead. Toss not able to land it onto Magical. The glimpse back pulls in Aloha Dance. And now he's in some trouble. Magical, does he have enough mana for one last raise? He's about to right there. Gets the final hit. And
very nice play from Magical. Yeah, he used the clarity, so you either need to like go back and hit him, and then you're gonna be in extra 2 hit range. And there was also Bassi mana region, so he got enough mana for our raise. How's Mars doing? 26 CS, Ricky 25. You praise General so much. I want to see more of him. Like, what can he do? The problem is, like, Tiny wants to play aggressive, and he's nowhere as good as he was as a mid laner. Like, you get a Bracer or 2, you would get extra magic resistance before. His tree grab is not as strong as before. One of the reasons why he's not being picked that often as a mid laner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely worse than it was, and I think that you're seeing like one of the downsides, obviously, of playing against Shadow Fiend if you are this melee hero. Even if you do have that like slightly longer than normal extended melee range, you can still get just bursted down by this raise combo. And Magical now with a fairly substantial lead as far as the CS and levels go to some extent. Iceberg picks up a haste rune. He's gonna actually have to walk back now. That's unfortunate.
This is the best rune you can get on Tiny, but I want to see some kind of rotation for the back toss. With the haste, it's easy to set things up on Shadowfiend, and Shadowfiend, one of the easiest skills you can get in the game. Shadowfiend already level 7, farming, I think that was a 4 stack in the jungle. Another pause.
I just want to fly. Just needing to take some time for himself here. He's actually gotten fairly farmed himself. Obviously no boots, but I think that this is a headdress that's coming out to him.
I can read this one. It says courier.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The hell?
Lekarstva privezli. Lekar means a doctor, or now it does.
Okay. What are they saying?
Now he's saying Sim Corona. This is Corona.
Corona.
Yeah.
Get away! Run!
Seems like something's happening.
What's going on?
Seems like something serious is happening.
Really?
I'm not trolling right now. I'm 100% serious.
Something serious is going on.
Nasha Mukeri, I think that means our dog. I could be wrong, but I could read a bit of Cyrillic, and I know some of the Russian words.
Okay. Well, that's scary. Well,
I don't know what that is, but I can understand some can get what's happening in the context, but I could read a couple of the words.
Chen's courier is not moving right now, so I'm wondering if he's having some like binding issues with this courier, maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell, but Slayer in the meantime gets a big old crit to the face. V2 giving him the tip afterwards. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I'm wondering. Okay, there's more talking going on. We need some translators in chat. That's clearly what needs to happen.
Dire structures are fortified.
Actually, I guess we have a production team out there. Can our production team let us know what's happening?
He says skoro bude, which means it's gonna be soon. I don't know what's gonna be soon, but something.
Monk ass. It's gonna be soon. General bottom. Oh, wasn't quite able to get that God's Rebuke pushback. And salve? Not enough. Not enough. Oh, mid lane, Iceberg. There is the haste. Oh, he misses the toss. Would love to get that one.
This is the rotation I was talking about, but they needed a back toss to the tower to get a kill.
Yeah.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Well, now V2's courier goes down again. Maybe that's what the issue was. Their couriers kept dying.
I don't think it's something you would all chat about.
No. That's fair. Magical. He's level 9. 4-0 so far. And... well, it looks fairly even across all of the net worths, relatively speaking. Are you looking up more information about what the heck's happening?
Yeah, I'm looking at chat. People are just calling me a liar.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Hopefully, though, it doesn't result in any extra issues for these teams and players. As General, gone on yet again. God's Rebuke, push it back. Another round of the spear is available if he needs to use it. Iceberg showing up great jump away, though, with the tricks of the trade and Crystallize. It's the blink strike out afterwards. Easy peasy. They're baiting that sentry super hard.
Tiny rotated back to mid. Sheraton will just continue to farm the jungle, and when the lane comes to the mid tower, we'll shove it out with the double raises.
Oh, General. Oh, he's going to miss that spear as well. And, well, that is really rough. Crystallize will get stunned, but there is no tower aggro onto him. Still one more creep left alive. Man, I have never caster cursed somebody this hard. I was all about it earlier.
0-3-0. Maybe he's going for a reverse 11-0, huh?
It's a possibility. Definitely a possibility. I'm just going to go delete that tweet. And let's see NaVi now. Down bottom. Again, thinking about getting aggro. Always want to fly is here with General and Aloha dances. They want to battle for these bounty runes. And it looks like they'll be able to pick up a couple of them. Although, Slayer, sneaky on the backside, able to take one away.
So Shadowfin will go for like this right-click damage build where you get drums into BKB so you can stand your ground and fight. They have no abilities that go through magic immunity. One of the reasons why he's going for it. Rotation on the bottom lane. Chen with a couple of creeps. He's only level 5 at the moment, so there's no Hand of God. Ricky, however, dishes serious amount of damage in a short period of time. Level 7.
Yeah, he can definitely jump on some folks and cause some issues even before that that diffusal blade.
He says sorry. Izvinite. Aloha dance.
Oh, okay. What did Pasha say?
Vse, which means all. I don't know what the other word is.
All good? Is that what he's saying? Probably. It's all good.
Yeah, I would say vse normalna or vse okay, but vse netko. I don't know. I spend a lot of time playing with my Russian comrades in pubs, so you'll learn a couple of words.
All right. I can dig it. I always think that it's so interesting. Like, so I used to play chess a lot. And when I went traveling through Europe a little bit, I played against this German guy. And it was super interesting, like playing a game against somebody that doesn't speak in English, but you can learn so much about somebody just from playing against a game against them, you know? And I feel like that's the same in Dota, where like you learn a lot about these people like just by playing against them, even if you don't speak the same language. Freaking love it.
How's that even connected to Russian language or Cyrillic? Gabe, get your stuff together. I know the game is paused. But...
What do you mean? You're all Euros, right? That's the way it goes.
Yeah, for you, yeah. I mean, when we talk about America, we usually don't say that we're going to a specific state.
That's true.
Most of the people I know. But those that kind of know the geography of United States, you say the specific one.
Yeah, for sure. I was meaning more in terms of like just in general the different languages that exist across Dota. I guess they exist in the outside world, but then they use them in Dota. What if Dota had its own language? What do you think that would be? Is it just chat wheels?
No, chat wheels is fine.
Okay, that's the language of Dota. Feeding is the language of Dota. Man. I'm feeling like this is NaVi striking back in a big bad way. This game is looking super good for them.
In terms of net worth, the game pretty even, but they still didn't get a single kill, which could be demoralizing.
You hear me typing?
No.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I have a really loud keyboard. I was messaging the admins to find out what's happening with this stuff. It is very interesting to just see all these conversations going on. This always happens when I was staying up late. Unique build by VP.Prodigy. Okay. Wait, what? What is he saying?
Well, I've stopped reading it, and chat doesn't believe me anymore since I lied about Battle Pass.
Dude, that's what happens. You get owned.
But
like I will
and lyrical.
Constant lyrical. That's a good one. I like the lyrical personally. That's another one that's pretty good. Dude, what the hell are they saying to each other? I feel like this is transcended from just giving information about what's happening to them just memeing on each other a little bit, probably. Do you know, is there any bad blood between these teams at all, or are they pretty okay? Pray for Chen. Oh my god. What's happened to Chen? Oh no. Always want to die in real life. It's dangerous. What's happened?
All right, we have people coming back into the game. Still don't know what the problem is.
All right. Well, he's playing Dota, so it can't be too serious. Hopefully. All right. Mars ulti immediately popped out, only hits onto Ilias, who does have his level 6 if he wants to throw that down. And wow, that went bad. Whoa. Whoa. They pulled in V-Tune, but that is, oh no. V-Tune, no. They pull him in and he just goes down again. Oh God. FlyToMoon, are they going to get any kills? Are they going to lose their Wraith King? They are. Can he live? They have disruption afterwards, but it looks like they're going to back out as Big Bad Iceberg shows up.
That Poppy Paws for what? So that you can lose 3 heroes and Breaking ulti?
Oh my god.
Oh man, it's suddenly it's a 2k network lead for NaVi.
Yeah.
And meanwhile on the top lane, like Pasha took out the tower. У меня packet loss 50. So packet loss is the problem.
Okay. That explains it, you know, that move down bottom. That explains what's going on. Wow. Unbelievable. 8-0 start. The lanes were like kind of looking okay as far as just trade-off of farm, but that rotation bottom, that one really hurt.
Let's roll. Game unpaused.
All right. Well, always want to fly. Hoping to be able to replicate some of that success of last game. I mean, I guess that there still is the strength that you have from FlyToMoon of like Wraith King getting super duper farmed up. Like, this is a scary hero if he can get to the late game.
Then just get to the late game, but he needs to address his item build. Problem is you're playing against the Fusive Blade on Ricky, which is going to come up pretty soon, so your mana will be burned. I mean, you don't care about your ulti if you're using it like this. So he can burn all your mana, you don't have it.
That's a good point. There you go. Dude, I mean, I guess the other sort of thing that's going to help him get to that late game would be the Blink Dagger on the Tiny, which is coming soon. General throws out the arena, gets the spear onto one, but will eventually pop to the Shadow Demon ultimate. And Iceberg just wanting to stay on target, but it is not going to happen. Dude, Disruptor is so good. Holy Toledo.
Well, you praised General. He is 0-5-0 this particular matchup. His best hero, you said. What happened, Gabe?
I don't know what happened. Stop bullying me, Lacoste. It's not my fault. Their internet's going down. That's the problem. Clearly. I think NaVi came up with some really good answers this game so far, from what we've seen. Like, obviously, it's not over by any stretch of the imagination, but it feels like NaVi came into this with a plan of how to deal with the General Mars, and they see absolutely everybody right here with Crystallize. All the vision in the world. And the jump in, coming, Ricky, Cloud, onto a couple. Just forces them back. That ensures that Magical should be able to take down this tier 1 tower.
But Chen just used recall on Tiny, who was sitting next to him. Some weird stuff happening in this game.
Oh my God. Is that
but
just like, I'm done with this game move? It's like, I'm frustrated.
That's when you type minus disable help.
Okay.
So tier 1 tower down. They will continue to pressure Ricky, getting closer to his Diffusal Blade. Shadowfin going straight into BKB after this one. Which is kind of a must-have against the lineup that FlyToMoon has.
Mm-hmm.
Dire are scanning.
Armlet, Dunzo, and Smoke up. V-Tune gonna summon his skeletons probably, and then maybe try and rejoin his team again since they don't have the Chen pull-in. Or nope, V-Tune's just gonna farm some more. Okay, that's fine. Mid lane, Slayer, not a super appetizing target for FlyToMoon, but they gotta take what they can get. Oh my God. Dude, disruption. Everybody else shows up. Butt spear into his face. Now Magical going out with the Requiem of Souls. Slayer's not even gonna die. Oh God, run away. Static Storm is down. They're controlling the Chen. They pull back in Aloha Dance one by one by one. They are losing these heroes. Crystallize has another Blink Strike forward. And Magical with the double kill. 4,000 gold lead. This is, whew.
It's looking rough.
Yeah.
How's Tiny looking at? 400 gold away from a Blink Dagger. By the point he gets it, like, who does he play with? That's my concern. That everyone's going to be tanky enough to survive the initial combo, besides maybe Disruptor.
Yep, and he does go down there, so that's a nice pickup. Iceberg almost got his Essence Ring stolen by the Ricky, but Crystallize couldn't quite get there in time. But yeah, it is a nice little start to this one for NaVi, and as you mentioned, even those avenues of trying to catch back into this game, like the Tiny Blink Dagger, they're not really providing the same formidable effect that they would have in other games, because everybody's already super farmed.
Radiant structure.
Tier 1 tower on the mid, dropping glow. Like, it still is the most important tower in the game, not as important as it was before, but still, you need to take it. Problem is, like, you're playing Raking into Diffusal Blade, and they have a ton of vision. Like, you have Thunderstrike, you have Centaur, using Stampede offensively, Reiki scouting things out, so Disruptor will always get the good glimpses back.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, the panel did talk about the idea of the Mars ulti being a good answer for that Stampede away, but you need that initiation item from General, which he's just not very close to at all.
Now, when you think about it, Mars Arena is considered as a counter to a Stampede. You catch them inside, they can't get out.
Yeah, and that could be pretty nice for them, but they need more farm on their heroes before that's going to really work, it feels like. And, well, NaVi all together again. They do have a smoke if they want to use it, and it looks like they will. So Crystallize, Slayer, and Ilias. They can kill just about anybody on the map right now. Just depends on who they run into. And hey, lo and behold, there's General. And are they going to go for him? Ah, doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe. All right, now he moves over. And there's the Disruptor. They pull him back over to the side. Zaxstorm down, muted, and done so.
7 out of those 11. Man, General is having a really rough time. They're just playing the bottom lane. You need to have someone on the map that dies. Usually it's your either position 4 or 5. Chen completed mech 18 minutes in. I love that Raking is adjusting his item build, going for straight into Deso, so that he can fight with the team. Like, he dishes him out a lot of damage with this build.
Yeah. Well, and they know that Roche is being taken, but in that time, you're able to get a tier 2 tower at the very least on FlyToMoon. And VTune is the most farmed hero in the entire game. So, you know, he's starting to get up there. You maybe get up to that level 20 talent. Suddenly, the mana that's being taken away from you matters a little bit less than it would have otherwise. There could be a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to play into mana burn, but it's not a Phantom Lancer. You know, all these illusions burning 40 mana per hit. Do they have mana boots, any kind of mana regen item? They don't. Okay, Chen has Arcane Ring.
Nice.
Budget mana boots.
This dude needs to get rid of his Coin Blade and buy some freaking mangoes. That's the real answer. Well, the cost, it is almost that 20-minute mark, and it looks like outposts being held 1 for each team. I don't know, do you think that this is still like as dominant as it was looking in the early goings? I kind of feel like FlyToMoon have some of the ways to sort of take a fight now if it's on somewhat even terms. Am I completely delusional?
I still feel like it's the same. Mars is not having a game. Tiny still needs another like item to take a fight. He is tanky, going for damage, Echo Saber, so depends who he jumps. Like, ideally you want to jump either Shadow Demon or Disruptor with 1 extra following up spell. You should be able to get a kill on those. But look at the Pasha, what he's building. No blink, pipe straight into Heaven's Halberd.
Whoa. Oh, whoa. General gets recalled in by Always Wanna Fly, but then they get the glimpse on the Always Wanna Fly, and now he dies. And Mars just runs the hell away because there was no chance that was going to work out for him in a good way. But yeah, they take that kill, and now probably going to take the tier 2 tower.
It's being pinged out, Chen out in 10 seconds. This is kind of a game that FlyToMoon needs to play. Play the bottom lane with the Chen creeps or just Skellies. Try to put some pressure. And they know. You can see Ilias planting a vision so that they can see who's going to go to the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's nice. That's what you want to do. I mean, there still is a tier 2 tower that they can TP to, but regardless, that's the way that they need to play. So they get the Blink Dagger done on V2 now. Iceberg has his Blink Dagger, not quite Echo Saber. And it looks like they're going to try and find a smoke out. Crystallize is who they run into right at the start. In vision, silence is there. Avalanche. Do they have the detection? They do, but tricks the trade for the walkaway, and NaVi are out.
FlyToMoon still wants to play aggressive. Like, you don't expect this kind of a play. They know they're playing from behind. They're playing into Aegis. Also, that's not the target that you want to find.
Okay. I got word from the admins, by the way, that apparently the players were just joking and there's nothing serious going on. So,
all right, good to hear.
Yeah, that's good to know. Otherwise, I would have been like joking and laughing while like a tragedy is going on. That wouldn't have been good. But regardless, it is now pressure into the mid lane. They know that bottom is where all of NaVi is. They're going to try and get these other lanes pushed out before they get prepared for a defense of their high ground.
That's what the game is called.
Defense
you
of the
defend.
High ground.
Yeah, you do defend your ancient glimpse back.
Oh, run. Okay.
Okay, so I believe he dispelled it with Manta style.
Oh, he dodged it. Nice.
Yes.
That's pretty sick. What a player. Wait, was that Iceberg? Oh, jump in,
I
toss
believe
back.
it was.
They got him caught. The hoof stomp afterwards. They're going on the tankiest hero in the freaking world, but the crits are going to be enough to find the kill, so they get one. Centaur in exchange for the Tiny, now going to be able to find the Fear pushback. But they make it work. They find a kill and now chasing for more. VTune, he's mad as hell. Oh, but then another glimpse.
Glimpse is such a powerful spell.
Yeah.
Look at the vision that they're placing. They see everything behind tier 2 tower. They see everything where tier 1 tower was standing. And you don't expect these kind of wards, so these are not going to get devorted.
Yeah.
And it's also... Okay, they devorted this one. Pretty smart.
A bunch of cool guys. All right, Aegis down. VTune. They know that these heroes are here. It's a 5,000 gold lead, but they at least have found a way to sort of make a life for themselves in this game. Oh my god, VTune just blinked on top of Ilias, but I think he even caught him off guard because he didn't throw his stun out.
He surprised himself, like, guys, I found him, what do I do? Forgot to use the stun, but there was no time.
Yeah, true enough. So the pressure down bottom, VTune getting closer and closer to that level 20 talent. We haven't really seen them be able to take a forceful fight against the Wraith King yet and bring him down. But if he can get to that AC in time, that could be a big changer. Iceberg blinks away, but Ilias trying to get vision. Can they maintain it? No, can't get the glimpse off. Stun, right click, spear afterwards. Oh, good cloud though, and that stops the Centaur hoof stomp from going in. That was really nice. Now they pull back in VTune. He's not getting his mana drain quickly enough. He's going to die, but then he's coming back in a second for round 2. Meanwhile, General hits a giant arena onto all of these heroes. BKB coming out for Magical. Everybody else trying to walk away. They've already lost that Disruptor. Always want to fly, getting low, but not going to die. So another fight, you know, quote unquote, won by FlyToMoon as Iceberg just jumps in. He finds Slayer, toss up in the air. I'm going to get pulled in.
Spear.
Killed
Not
off.
even needed.
Nicely done.
So next Roche may respawn in 15 seconds, and as you said, it's another win for FlyToMoon, even though net worth is still staying the same, but they are fighting back.
That's the thing that's so frustrating. It's like Kuro was saying in the other interview that they had, like, these fights you win, but then the net worth just doesn't change. Like, it's pretty much where it was before. You don't get that return gold that you used to.
And when you're playing Raid King, you have so much to look forward to. Like, oh man, I'm gonna get the level 18. I'm gonna get this next item. Then I'm gonna get to level 20. No reincarnation mana cost. Then another item. So you're happy all the time when you're playing Raid King.
Is that how that works?
It is.
Because I always feel like I just never get those things. It's like, oh, maybe in the future I could get it. You know?
You don't have the right mentality, Gabe.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Even though you are very happy, you're the happiest guy I know. I swear to God, I've never seen you neither angry nor sad.
Angry nor sad. Oh, guy, you're so nice. Just like VTune's farm. You see that transition? That was pretty.
Oh, that was pretty neat. Raid King found Orb of Destruction, Titan Sliver, some very nice items dropping out for FlyToMoon. Where's that?
I think he sent it back, and it's coming to the courier form right now.
Yeah, it's coming.
Damn. So the minus armor is going to be insane. AC, Deso, Orb of Destruction, and I mean, you look at this, like, Shadow Fiend normally sometimes goes for like one of those AC type of items himself. Hasn't gone for it, so they don't have the most ridiculous armor in the world right now.
Also, Solar Crest on Mars. So if they can, like, see the Roche that is going to spawn, but Navi's already checking the Roche pit with the courier. Bulldog helping them out.
Nice. What a nice guy.
That's a very nice looking courier. I love it.
It's super creepy looking. Is it? It's like if Pudge was a courier, it was a pug, right?
Pudge plus bat.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, a little bit of posturing around the area for the Roche pit. Slayer is pushing out the bottom lane. You know, maybe we see FlyToMoon try and go again the push down bottom so it can force somebody away from NaVi. But Magical, in his own right, does a ton of damage. Daedalus done along with the BKB and going back for the Satanic next.
Definitely needs Satanic to hold his ground and fight. Like, once your BKB is down, Rating gets on top of you, he gets it off.
Oh my god, the crit damage, but he doesn't manage to quite finish the deal. He turns it back around now, always want to fly. Chen heal, and Hand of God gets out before the Disruption Silence is out. So far, FlyToMoon somewhat living through this one. The continued chase down, they want to try and find Magical, but they can't quite get it. And now Pasha controlling. Reincarnation, round 2, turns on to Ilias, just going to try and beat into him, but the disarm is there. This Heaven's Halberd putting in a ton of work. Finally, he's going to be able to finish off Magical there. The big bad Wraith King eventually is going to die.
Sadly, he does not have a buyback at the moment. Ricky's still chasing. There is a sentry.
Avalanche toss, and the spear comes through right at the end, latching on to Pasha. Dude, FlyToMoon have somehow been able to find their way back into this game. He tries to juke around the corner. Hoof Stomp going to be interrupted by that silence.
What's always what a Fly doing? Like, he's recalling Tiny, who's standing next to him. He did not disable the help.
Dude, he's just so happy. He's just like, we're winning. I'm going to recall you. But Pasha now also in some trouble. Slayer, okay, interrupting. Silence going to hit. And kill coming out their way. Dude, it is going to be 18 to 9.
Comeback.
This is going to be 18 to 9, but those 9 kills have all been in the last couple of minutes, and FlyToMoon are looking pretty.
Wraith King, he can easily two-shot supports if he gets on top of them. Like, there is Disruptor with the Ghost Scepter, there is Shadow Demon with the Ghost Scepter, and they don't have ways of dispelling that, but this is when Tiny comes through. He also has Spider Legs, so he can be very mobile in the team fights, cutting into backline.
Well,
problem is, without Wraith King, they can't take Roche. But here it comes.
Moving in. Over on the other side, Crystallize is here. They realize that it's being taken, but look at how quickly it's dropping. I don't think they can get there in time. It happens too quick.
That's -5, -5, -6, 16 armor just from the Wraith King. Not too bad.
Not bad at all. Picks up the cheese. Who's taking the Aegis? They give it to Iceberg. And Tiny has 4,000 gold right now. V-Tune, he's working on a BKB after finishing the AC. Dude, they are so stacked up. And now it's a 2,000 gold lead back the other way, FlyToMoon. That 4,000 net worth rule, it's not working. Yeah, they've been able to make a comeback.
We're saying that you can't make a comeback in this patch.
Yeah.
Everything is possible.
And of course, the person that made it all possible, General, just gonna get back on the train again. No, I'm sorry. I've done enough hyping him up recently.
Like, sometimes you need to think outside of the box, and General is doing that this game. Like, not going for a blink dagger. He understands I blink him, what happens then? Like, so he just goes for Solar Crest, tanks up, gets all the talents for tanking up, even has Dragon Scale. So he's sitting at, what, 34 armor when standing near the tier 3 tower. And going for Heaven's Halberd. Great against Shadow Fiend, great against Ricky.
Radiant's top tower has
And look at this, like all of the rest of Navi are on the other side of the map. V-Tune is just alone top pushing, and nobody can touch him. Look at this dude. This tower is going to get like 7 shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that doesn't count. That was a glyph. Unbelievable. It's cheaters. All right, we're on 3, right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, dude, that's some good stuff right there. Hit it right. Lacoste, V-Tune is a monster.
He is, man. I've been impressed the way he's been playing, like his Slark performance today and yesterday. Also, it looked like
the tower.
The things were not looking good for them. Glem's back.
Oh my
Where's
God.
the team? Tiny being recalled. This time it's allowed.
Dude, what is happening? He just died for no reason. He still has the cheese available, but the soul catcher, Force Staff doesn't work when you're purged, my dude.
Zoning ulti from Disruptor.
Now they're going to be able to walk away. Glimpse pulls him back in, eats the cheese. Round 2, can they kill him? Requiem of Souls going to come out. He's dead. Oh my god, FlyToMoon, what is happening? How do you guys do this? Always Want to Fly is gonna die. Iceberg being chased down. He's got the Aegis. Blink away, not in time. Another toss is maybe his only option, but they will control and they'll kill him, and it might be twice. Can he get the blink out?
Blink is ready, plus spider legs.
Run away! Spider.
It's a spider rock.
No, he's not getting out.
I mean, you're playing against half spider, half centaur. I mean, half. What is that animal? My brain stopped working. Half human, half. Bull,
horse.
It's horse.
Dude, I don't know what just happened. Why was V2 just hitting the tower with no team behind him? They're crazy. These guys are insane.
Well, that's one way to give enemy a comeback potential. Didn't have BKB yet. He definitely needs it. Like, even though it's not the item that you want to build on Raid King, but still need against the Glimpse, against like Ricky's smoke screen, any kind of stun. Heaven's Halberd, you need to pop it before.
That's the only way that they can do it. But now with Wraith King back up again, it looks like NaVi not wanting to push their luck that much further forward and gonna just back out again. I don't know what items make either of these teams feel super safe. Like, it just feels as if both sides can kill each other no matter what.
So what are you suggesting? Just don't get any items?
Just don't get caught? I don't know. Maybe? Save for buyback? Not really sure.
Even with them dying there, they still couldn't achieve anything. Shadow Fiend has +2 damage per soul, presence aura affect buildings. Still, they managed to defend it. Who has buyback? Only 3 heroes with buyback right now.
Well, that can be really important when these heroes take towers so rapidly. Oh, Tiny Aghanim Scepter.
It's been a while. Yep.
Ooh. What do you think of it?
I love it. I mean, I love carry Tiny, but seems like Tiny shifted towards position 4 or position not being picked nor banned. Definitely the item that can turn things around. You just need to be fighting in a correct space. Sadly, you don't have Nature's Prophet to summon the trees for you. You still get the Echo Saber's slow proc, but it doesn't like get the second hit. It's just a low.
So, I mean, as we just see the trees get thrown around there, what was it that really changed that took this out of the meta? Because it feels like it still does the same amount of damage that it used to some extent.
I believe it was 10-second cooldown. Now it's 15, but like all the nerfs to Tiny, overall, he's been nerfed every single patch pretty much.
Okay. Watch out, the barrage. Avalanche. Oh, good.
Almost killed Ricky.
That was so much damage. Jump in, hoof stomp onto 2. That's a big one. Grimstroke going to live just barely by the skin of his teeth. V-Tune thinking about turning back around. They have another tree volley. Careful, careful. Oh my God.
Not enough trees.
He needs more trees, clearly. Are they going to stick around and try and take this tier 3 tower? Good disruption there. And V-Tune gets the blink out afterwards, but the Glimpse pulls him back in. This is what you get for walking in. You might get taken down. And a god living. And then with the walk away.
Not ready. You see what Shadow Demon is doing? Using disruption on Raid King for some extra damage, and they get the free AC from the illusions. Like the tower gets it, so it stays alive.
Good attempt there to force staff, but Aloha Dance will eventually go down dead. Yeah, that part's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So 22-9 right now with a 3,000 gold lead. V-Tune's still not leaving this top lane, and with the rest of them coming in, I mean, they don't have Grimstroke, but hoof stomp there onto 2, giving them the clap afterwards. All the Chen creeps are dying, but they're still all in position here to try and take this fight.
Grimstroke, no buyback on him. I feel like they should try to wait. Centaur's too tanky to kill unless Raid King jumps on him.
I mean, it definitely feels like they're waiting for somebody from Navi to just step too far forward. Magical is over here with an Invis rune. And is he going to reveal himself? Oh, good blink away.
Blink on blink action.
With the outplay, and now Magical with this Invis rune. Okay, gonna pop that Requiem of Souls, goes out, connects onto the Mars. Iceberg completely isolated. V2 trying to turn onto somebody, but this fight has gone completely awry, and they need to get the hell out of here. V2, BKB trying to walk at Slayer. He just disrupts himself, and I think that V2's just dead again.
If he saved BKB for after, he could have tried to TP out, even though there is a ton of damage. Also, Tiny has spider legs. Like, you cut down the trees when you're running, so you can't be using tree volley, but that's the best tier 3 items he could get. Like, what is there? I'm just gonna click.
Titan
Sliver? Yeah. Like, your base damage gets increased. I think he should swap it. And Tiny has a ton of base damage, so what is 16% on top of 240? That's like 40 extra damage, and now you have a crit on top of that, plus a tree volley.
I guess he's just valuing the maneuverability that you get from spider legs, but now they have to hold their base with no V-Tune, at least for the next 40 seconds. A 5,000 gold lead yet again, going back the other direction, and the seesaw of Dota 2 that we don't often see nowadays, but is much appreciated. Going to see a little bit of a back and forth one. Is going to turn out looking like it's in Navi's favor, at least for the moment. Spear pushback, Iceberg heading into the trees, going to throw him out now. Trying to beat into Magical, but this is going to likely be another tier 3 tower just taken. They have the silence down, kinetic field as well, protecting them. The ghetto Mars arena, if you will. But Stampede, runaway, and done.
Just in case. So that nothing bad happens, they took 2 melee Rexes, Roche just spawned. So that's a refresher, Cheese and Aegis. They know there's no Stampede. I feel like FlyToMoon should go straight into Roche Pit and try to take it. Also, there's an outpost. They might be afraid of someone trying to TP and backstab them, but they're not going to reveal themselves.
Disruptor, Crete, or rather Courier goes in, but
oh
look
my
at how
god,
fast
it
this
goes down so quick.
Oh, they can't get there in time. They can't get there in time, I don't think, but maybe a hoof stomp, jump in, stun onto 2. Is it going to be good enough? They're trying to find that kill. Chen is dead right at the start. Oh man, the BKB, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Turning now onto the side general. He's silenced, couldn't even get the arena off. Crystallized, sort of under control, actually blinks in, and that soul binds them together. V2 able to get that one last hit. So they take down Ricky, but this is going to be the first life of V2, and the second one is so much shorter. Unbelievable. Aloha Dance trying to walk away. TP out. Is it going to be enough? No. They also control Iceberg. They're going to be able to barely get out.
But sadly, V2 does not have a buyback, so he can't come back into the fight. They needed 1 second. If they kept hitting it, they would have killed it. But the nice blink in from Pasha.
That was such a clutch move. Or if they had just like one hero outside to break the blink dagger,
GG.
and then they're done. Damn. Going to a game 3. Navi, pull it out in this one. Super duper solid showing. Man, Lacoste. I mean, was that kind of what you were expecting after they lost the